Okay. Let's see if we can get this working. Okay, there we are. Hello everyone. I'm gonna see if I can get if I can get Langrisser music going in the background. Sounds perfectly fitting. This might be a bit shorter than I had originally intended. Yeah, the levels on that should be fine. I've been hearing more and more about Quasimorph, and I think one thing that's starting to confuse me is that I thought Quasimorph was by a different dev because it's by Magnum Scriptum and Hype Train Digital. Hype Train Digital. But Quasimorph really does seem to just be Stoneshard in space, which is a little weird for me. Okay, maybe that's different. We've got these different factions. You have squares you click on to move. HP, I mean, it's literally the same game. When I was watching some gameplay, it was like actually pretty close. Which was a discovery. I did not know that. They have... like, it's not exactly the same. There's even doors. You know, for like a sci-fi space game, I didn't think there were going to be doors you had to open to vanquish your foes. And there's demons. Same game. But, wait, what? I mean, I'm not logged into Steam, so it's not going to show me, but I think I could get it for like $10 because there's this bundle. So I was going to say, if anyone's interested, whenever there's a sale, they do have the Unforgiving Roguelike bundle, and you're getting 2 stone shards for the price of 1. But yeah, so just, I feel a little nervous now. This Langrisser music is like so loud for me. I'm just gonna put it there. Yeah, there's someone just doing construction next door, which is great, awesome. So yeah, Stoneshard updates. We've got the 2 new ones. We've got Denbury and then Caravan Update 4. Hello everyone, today's devlog is dedicated to changes in the global map and a new settlement of the Grand Magistrate, Denbury. Let's tackle it one thing at a time. One thing I find very weird about Stoneshard updates is that they keep mentioning that like a settlement or a thing is Grand Magistrate, and while technically there are other factions in the game, or, I don't know, like the Rotten Willow Tavern is kind of its own faction, it's not Grand Magistrate. Like there really is only one. I honestly don't know if there's... Settlement is to the west of Bryn. It is southwestern region of Bryn Mawr. There is salt. Beautiful gifts though. Close vicinity to Magistrate's borders makes Denbury an important strategic spot. Right, awesome. Cool power drill going on. That's just a little BGM for you. This duty is performed by cool soldiers. Denbury also has outskirts, a couple locations where you'll be able to rest on your way to a dungeon, turn in a contract, or purchase necessary supplies. So this harkens back to the dev update from last year, talking about the outskirt mechanic. Still not really 100% what that's going to look like. But apparently that's where we'll be turning in contracts right now. And then there's this very hot Mamacita right there. So that's the very important. I don't even know if I have my cursor on, but yeah. Old Kendrick doesn't care about politics. Map changes. One of the most important changes to the global map is that locations removed, allowing for a smoother and more organic progression. Additionally, the updated map will do a better job at highlighting the content that players right now have to either stumble upon. So is Stoneshard like Quazzle stuff? I think so. Or stumble upon randomly or learn about from external sources. Osbrick, for example, will be located in the eastern part of the map, a more suitable place for a settlement that was affected by war. Finishing the village's introductory quest will instantly let you travel to Bryn, granting earlier access to the caravan. Once you complete Gwynel's answers, Varen will begin giving you hints that'll steal your journey towards Manshire, the Rotten Willow, and Denbury. So, this was weird to me because what I'm not understanding here is, so now there's no need to actually go to Manshire if you don't want to, and I think they're saying the reason you would go to Manshire is for the main story. I guess it depends how close Osbrook and Manshire will be in the new setup. Like, I'm not good enough to know the sprites, but that's definitely the mill. I think that's Osbrook. I mean, you know what? This is just me taking time to talk about this stuff, so let's just give it a look. That's... Wait. Isn't that the winery outside of Manshire? Or maybe that's the brewery now, I guess. There's an outskirt up here, so now there's going to be an outskirts next to Osbrook. And then over here, there seems to be like a second, much smaller village. So, in that regard, okay, like here's my thing about Stoneshard, because I've been talking about the negativity lately. So in that regard, that is a really major change to the map, but I think to most players, they'll read it and just be like, oh, the map is being moved around. Like, okay, whatever. I think, I don't know, I'm kind of torn on this. I feel like the devs have this kind of expectation that people would actually read the update blogs like carefully and understand what they're saying, which I don't think is really how most players operate. I think they go like, okay, new shit, like what's up? And then they wait for someone to like post on the Reddit or like explain on the Reddit what the features might be when the update's coming out, whatever. I think that's another problem with not even knowing when the update will come out. There's a bit of apathy. Thumbnail will be like, whoa, Manshire nerfed! I should do that. I should like actually just put in like the Pog face too. So, I don't know if this is a hoax, but supposedly the Doge dog is unfortunately passed away, which is a sad day for memers everywhere. So you can see this is like a quest location here, quest location here. This looks to be a quest location too, but that could just be, that kind of looks like a fishery. So that could be another outskirt that's just buried. I think putting, okay, so like, I don't think it's really worth going this in depth to this, but honestly, I'm kind of wondering if I should turn off the music. It might not be, it's like barely audible. Let me just check really quickly. Well, I don't record different tracks. Sorry, 1 second. Let me make sure I'm not like mixing in the music audio with like my actual like mic. We should be fine. One thing that I do appreciate is that I think it's a lot more feasible to have tons of tiny settlements than to have like a bunch of, not even a bunch, just a few big settlements, because of how big they made the world map as opposed to the older version of the game. And like I was playing 0.56 or something, I don't know. I was playing like the Troll Slayer update because you can roll back on Steam, and so yeah, you do start like over here, but also my cursor is on. Okay. So also I think the old world map for Stoneshard used to be like from here to maybe here or something like this. It was like this square. So they completely moved Osbrook out of the starting location and put it over here, if I'm reading the map correctly and I'm understanding the dev notes correctly. And then so now that might be Rotten Willow, that could be an outskirts, but there's quest locations here. So I'm just really curious about what they put over here, like what this is now. Because Rotten Willow has always been to the north of Manshire, but there's just too many weird little locations. Like that could be Rotten Willow now or something, who knows? Or that could be the brewery, I guess. I think it would make more sense for that to be the brewery. Now, of course, stuff randomly spawns in, but I'm assuming they're seeded, so there's some sort of rules. What changes have you gone through? No, sorry. Basically, just talking about some of the new locations. Like, if you look at this map here, you can see... I like how I just start pointing at something random. Apparently, this is where Osbrook is starting on, like, the right-hand side here, whereas it used to be over here, and then you've got all these random little camps. So I was trying to see if I could find Manshire. I think that's Manshire now. That might be Bryn. No, just kidding. Maybe that's the new settlement? I don't know. Okay. So, yeah, it looks like going to Manshire isn't mandatory anymore unless you want to pursue the main quest to actually get to Bryn and get your caravan. I'm just, like, kind of curious how long people... Not how long people put that off, but the main reason you'd go to Manshire is for harder quests, I think. I don't think it was necessarily for the caravan thing. Manshire will remain almost the same. The only notable difference is a set of additional rules for the nearby locations placement. The herbalist's hut will actually spawn close to the village. What is the herbalist's hut? Have I been lied to this whole time? In contrast, the Rotten Willow Tavern will be affected the most. It'll be moved from its current spot north of Manchester to the western region of the map, not far from Osprey's old location. Furthermore, the tavern will have its own contracts, a few nearby dungeons, some extra functionality, and 2 outskirts. I believe this means that Rotten Willow will be the only non-Grand Magistrate faction that offers quests, so we'll pog there. I'm assuming that's Rotten Willow then, and that's the new outskirts maybe? The Oaken Glade. I'm just not interested in these, I'm sorry. There's a charcoal burning spot near the Rotten Willow Tavern. That is epic. This reputation system change is like, I don't know. This is a GIF I'm most certainly going to put in my video because there's just so much you can pause on here, but I guess I should just read this. Reputation system received many tweaks as well in the current version of the game. Each settlement uses the same reputation perks and rags to riches. They will differ depending on each city or village's special features, allowing for more flexibility when balancing the economy. For example, even though there are almost no merchants in the dilapidated remains of Denbury, the settlement's unique perk, Magistrate's Frontier, will reward you with additional Bryn reputation upon completing its contracts, which in turn will grant you access to better gear, even if indirectly. So, yeah, the new coal meta. I can't wait to work as a medieval charcoal burner. Awesome. Let me try and not show you my entire desktop really quickly. Can I open GIFs in the hell? Just give me a minute to open Premiere. Originally, Bryn's reputation was meant to be acquired through alternative means, and city contracts were introduced only as a placeholder. In Rags to Riches, we want to return to the original vision of Bryn as a center of commerce, which you'll need to visit from time to time to buy new gear and sell loot. Side quests, we put a lot of effort into adapting our dialogue, creating tools for the game's engine, so the addition of new dialogues will require less time than before. This leads us to the next change, the complete removal of Bryn dungeons and all contracts tied to them. High danger contracts will be split between the Rotten Willow and Denbury, which is the new city, which should flatten the difficulty spike reported by many players. So, like, what I'm getting from this is that Bryn is going to be like a tier 2. I was going to say 2 skull, but 2 skull is relative, so I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. So I guess like Bryn is kind of getting shuffled in with Manshire, which is kind of interesting. I'm trying to open Premiere because I should be able to simply crash my computer. I should be able to open the GIF and just kind of go through it from there. Hello, welcome, welcome. Magistrate's Capital. 25% of the reputation gained from completing contracts and other settlements of the faction is also granted in Bryn. Bryn reputation. Distant Dungeon. Another thing we wanted to do with Rags to Riches is to implement a complete progression system that will provide content throughout all 30 character levels, which will allow us to stress test every mechanic before expanding the map. This will be achieved by splitting the existing dungeons, items, and settlements into 5 tiers. This change will also affect distant dungeons, which will stay the main source of late game content. They'll be present in tier 4 and tier 5 variants. Alright, let's look at this. So this one, tier 1, zombie. Tier 5, zombie with helmet. Ancient cat. I've really is it bad that when I see the enemies in this game I have like nothing to really say? Like they look cool and stuff. I don't know what to comment about this. There's a large ghoul. Doesn't that just mean they spawn in like having already eaten? Okay. As awesome as that is, Premiere, please let me open you. 1 second. Hold your horses. Okay, dragging the GIF over. Let's see. Is this cash money? Yes. Just let me add the window. I'm already getting drop frames. Alright, well it instantly showed you this. Welcome to Premiere. I hope there's no personally identifying information up. That'd be a pain in the butt. So, We saw Magistrate's Capital. Sorry, full resolution. City of Opportunities allows to receive a recommendation letter from Quartermaster Byrne at the Old Towers, which grants access to the Guild Quarters bailiffs. No clue what any of this means. Oh, wait. Byrne is the armor guy, right? Or, sorry, Byrne is the weapons trader that you have to bribe, right? Wide selection allows you to purchase equipment of higher stock. It's already in the game. Denbury, Magistrate's Frontier. Okay, that's neat. Common Cause, 25% of the reputation gathered from completing local contracts is also granted in other settlements of the faction all the way up to anonymity. Okay, so here's what's weird about this to me. My understanding of this when I read it, it was super exciting. It's like all of these different cities are going to have different passives. To me, these kind of seem like the exact same passive, right? Because Bryn's is the Magistrate Capital, 25% of reputation from other settlements goes to capital. Okay, that's like Bryn's unique thing. But then you go to Denbury's, and then their passive is 50% of the reputation goes to Bryn. So it's like, are all of them, are they all going to be different buffs, but each buff is just the reputation you get goes to Bryn? And I'm assuming they're doing this because that's supposed to be your main source of gear. But I just find that a little weird because I was expecting it to be like Denbury, you can purchase salt. I don't know. Let's see if they have another one here. Rotten Willow. Underworld Connections, 10% of... Wait, they all do go to Bryn. Can't see screen. You cannot see the screen. I am a massive idiot. Okay. That was really embarrassing. I'm sorry about that. Oh, I see. Okay, my bad. I'm gonna go through this again. One more. Okay, so Bryn's like passive Magistrate Capital. 25% of reputation from completing other contracts and other settlements goes to Bryn. Sorry for the noise. There's either construction or someone's being fucking throttled outside my room. Denbury, 50% of reputation from local contracts is also granted in Bryn. Common Cause. 25% of reputation from local contracts goes to other settlements all the way up to Amity, so it stops at a certain level. Okay, cool. And then you go to Rotten Willow, and it's like Underworld Connections, 10% of reputation goes to Bryn. So it's like, unless, I'm so confused. I'm assuming these, you can see my cursor, right? I'm assuming these are all some sort of like passive or unique to the settlement, but the ones on the right will like be recycled. It's like, okay, better buying, selling prices. That's going to happen in every settlement. Like, cool. I don't have an issue with that. But it's like, you can't say they each have a mechanic and the mechanic is just that your reputation goes to Bryn. That's just the same mechanic with a different name. No? Like, that feels really nitpicky, but I don't think that's like, I don't think that's crazy on my part to say. Wide selection allows to purchase items of higher quality. Advanced payments allows to receive advance payment when taking upon a contract. That's really neat. I wonder if that's going to be a dialogue option or that will just kind of happen. Then we go back to Bryn. So that was a great GIF. I hope you all enjoyed that. All right. Carefully avoiding doxing myself. I have no clue. I think I had this from yesterday. Why did I have it zoomed in like this? Okay. So I'm just gonna leave off there. I don't know if I have any further comments, critiques, etc. I think these are cool mechanics. I'm excited kind of more so to have all these smaller outskirt locations. I hope what they said about dialogue is true and they start adding more unique dialogue trees for NPCs. Like, I'm not even that concerned about every NPC in the game must have unique dialogue. I just mean, I don't know how many NPCs you can actually talk to in Bryn, that it's not just rumors. I know like most of the merchants you can say something, but yeah. Okay, and then any comments, questions, concerns? They should have something else going. You should have something else along with going to Bryn. Yeah, I guess my main thing is just that the way that read, it's like, okay, well, is the Oak and Barrel Brewery also gonna have your reputation go to Bryn? Like, I would just assume there would be something about like, you can buy commodities for cheaper here, or maybe like for something like the brewery, it's like when you buy a commodity here, you can have it shipped to your caravan or something, so you don't have to carry the kegs in your inventory. Something like that is like what I would like to see personally, but also I'm not a game dev. I do not necessarily know what's right. I just thought that was weird because they talk about it. I'm gonna read this again because I'm repeating myself. The reputation system received many tweaks as well. In the current version of the game, each settlement uses the same reputation perks. They will differ depending on each city or village's specific features, allowing for more flexibility. For example, even though there are no merchants in Denbury, the settlement's perk will reward you with additional Bryn reputation. But as we just saw there, the Rotten Willow Tavern gives you Bryn reputation. You can see it right there. But these sprites on the I can't speak. I'm so sorry. These sprites on the right are like different. Like it seems like there is at least some differences. And then we're just gonna go into Caravan 4. I don't know. Like I kind of realized I don't know if I have really an hour's worth of content over this, but it still seems pretty worthwhile to like make a video on this just to explain that there has been a cool update. So Caravan Upgrades Part 4 is the one I was actually looking forward to the most, because when I saw the sprites, I just had the feeling that this one would have the most interesting mechanics hidden behind it. And I think I was correct. I read through this like last week. Should have had notes. It's my bad. In the future, we'll be doing that. I was too busy screaming, crying, malding. Hello everyone. Today's devlog will be concluding. We'll conclude. Sometimes I add cool words. I want to rewrite this. Conclude the topic of caravan upgrades by revealing the final upgrade path, communication. Get your communication degree now. Interesting fact, caravan upgrades are not abilities and therefore do not require ability points. Instead, they are unlocked with items and materials. This is for the dumb motherfuckers out there. I'm sorry, but like why would you need your skill points for the caravan? That'd be awful. Its main focus is staying in touch with civilization. Let's take a closer look at what that entails. You've got flag, bird, handshake, quill, scales. Awesome stuff. Caravan banner, a symbol of fellowship and hope. Requirement, foldable flagpole, acquired during the caravan introduction quest. Adds a flagpole to the caravan camp that can be used to raise banners found in dungeons or while exploring the world. I love these. This is, for me, I kind of want to say like 10 out of 10 feature and idea. So when you raise different flags, they'll grant different effects. That one I think I can read. Hold on. 5% reputation gain and plus 10% fatigue resistance. So yeah, all of them will increase reputation gain. The wolf will give you pain resistance. The owl banner will give you a bonus to experience gain. Really cool feature. I think that's great. And also down the line they can add like legendary banners and stuff like that. I like this kind of stuff. I don't know why, it just tickles my my non-autism spectrum behavior. Messenger pigeon. I just shut up. I'm so dumb. I should have gotten drunk. I would speak properly. Messenger pigeons are trained to return home regardless of the distance, even if said home never stays in one place for too long. Look at that cute little pigeon. And they said there'd never be pets in the game. Requirements. Cage with pigeons. Okay, I'm just going to say it here first, folks. As far as I know, I'm not the biggest Stoneshard aficionado. I don't think Cage with Pigeons is in the game yet, so we're getting a new item, boys. Rejoice. Effect allows to take a carrier pigeon with you. While not in immediate danger, the pigeon can be released to send a message to Varen, which will open the caravan's travel menu, allowing it to move to a selected location. So basically, this is just a mechanic that allows you to move your caravan remotely. I'm not actually sure why you do this. I have a couple, like, theories. I'm sure people have better theories on the Reddit. I'm assuming because of the recharge period, this could be a good idea. If your caravan is, like, currently recharging, you could go off in the wild, wait for it to be ready to go, and then messenger pigeon when you're near the dungeon and get all your stuff back. Maybe it's meant to be if you're not really sure where you want to put your caravan. My main thing about that is that, okay, actually, let me interrupt myself. I think I just realized you can't place Wait, hold on. I don't understand Stoneshard. Okay, so I was actually going to say the real reason is probably because you can't place the caravan in areas that you don't have line of sight on. Like, they have to be explored. But that one doesn't look explored. That looks like half explored. I mean, I could throw that in Premiere, but it looks like you can see half of it. That's just weird to me. Sorry. Also, it says it takes 6 hours. Do you just stand there for 6 hours? Okay, sorry. I don't want to do this because I don't think this is like worth our time. Let me check that. I'm not showing you everything because that ruins the suspense. We're going back to Premiere, boys. We're going back in. Okay, I wasn't looking at my OBS, so I was being a little bit of a goofball there. What am I doing? I'm absolutely losing my mind. Sorry guys, I didn't want to tell you this, but I forgot how to edit videos. Okay. Okay, this feels it feels nitpicky, but just hear me out. So, when you're looking at this GIF, it's like daytime. Why is it? That's good, right? We can all agree. We can see this. All right, everybody in the class, anyone in the class have a problem with this? Let me know. So in this this GIF, I'm gonna say both. It appears to be like daytime, right? Then you message your pigeon because you're going near your quest or adventure. You cleared the fog of war, so you can place it. Okay. I think it's a little weird that you don't have to be in the tile or like have been in the tile, just be next to it. Okay, so you call your caravan, right? It says travel time 3 hours, setting camp 6 hours. Does that mean it takes 9 hours? Or does that mean it takes 3 hours, right? This sounds nitpicky, but just hear me out. Can you go there after the travel time? Like, is it just going to take 3 hours and then you can go there and you got to wait 6 hours? I'm assuming it's just taking 9 hours because when you look at the map, it changes to nighttime. So, Stoneshard being the amazing experience it is, after you move the caravan with the pigeon, are you just going to be like hungry, tired, like lose all your effects? I mean, I'm sure you can plan for this. Seems like a bit of a beginner's trap to me though. I'm assuming the utility is just that if you haven't explored the area around where you're doing the quest, then you can call the caravan like this. Okay, whatever. But it seems annoying as hell that you gotta plan like you're gonna have to plan like a 2-day long trip to go like a 1 day's walking distance. Well, I don't know, I could be just being overreacting. I could be overreacting as I am ought to do. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Should be back on track here. Old favors. Varen has lots of acquaintances. Many of them still remember their old friend. Killing enemies near settlements improves your reputation there by 20% of the received experience. I cannot speak, sorry. Increases the time limit for contracts by 1 day. This seems really good. I think this is an interesting mechanic. I don't really have any complaints here. It just seems kind of like a weird, cool passive. Web of contacts. I'm sorry, I'm not going to read the flavor text. Requirements, signed permit. Grants 50% more reputation when completing contracts in settlements affected by negative situations. Grants 5% reputation gain for each settlement you've achieved respect with. The common cause reputation perk now works all the way up to amity instead of benevolence. Interesting, it changes the perks. For those of you wondering, it says contracts and settlements affected by negative situations. I don't know if they ever specified this specifically, but negative situations like settlements should be able to have like, I don't know, like a grain shortage or something, or some sort of situation where bandits are like intercepting their caravans, and then that's what the contracts fix. So yeah, it's like, oh, there's an iron shortage, now there's no swords here. I don't know how in depth they're going with that mechanic, but it's mentioned here. For those of you who don't know, there's the pigeon looking majestic with the flag. Local informants. Requirements. Directives 1, empty coin purse times 5. Decrease the chance of being ambushed by 25%. Setting up the caravan camp reveals the location of all points of interest within 5 tiles. Reveals some of the ongoing settlement situations and dungeon modifiers, showing them in global map hovers. I'm not sure what dungeon modifiers are. I don't know if that would have been in the dungeon rework. We can check that in a minute. Trade preferences. Achieving respect. 10% trade favorability when buying or selling commodity goods. Selling commodity goods and settlements improves your reputation there by 5% of the received sum. 15% if a settlement is affected by a negative situation. So once you unlock this, it looks like you can actually bring goods and try and resolve negative situations. I mean, I guess maybe not resolve them, but yeah, if there's a, whatever this is, a beer shortage, you can go and sell them some beer and they'll be like, oh, thank you. And this is a view of Denbury, which I'm going to be honest, don't particularly care about. I mean, it's cool. Like all the sprites and everything in this game look cool. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of a summary of everything that's new. I do want to see if, can we get dungeon? Rest on your way to a dungeon, dungeons. They'll become an actual form of categorization. Crypt's visuals will be affected by dungeon modifiers. Each dungeon type will have its own set of possible complications. For example, wafts of nauseating greenish air will signify the presence of miasmas. The varied and unusual objectives of the reworked contract system will affect dungeon layouts as well. For instance, Well of Souls will serve as a spawning point for wraiths, and the Holy Figurine contract will work quite differently from how it does right now. We also changed the loot system. Now there's going to be loot in crypts you can't find anywhere else, like Greek and Silver and Clasp. What was the other thing we had? It was the modifiers, so you can now see those from the global map, even though they're not in the game. What do we say now? So yeah, there's going to be an upgrade that allows you to see those beforehand. Stay informed of the situation. I don't know if there's anything else. The only other thing I wanted to go over is, of course, the Stoneshard subreddit. Nothing more fun than that. Hey y'all, I've seen some announcements in the last month or two about updates like the caravan system and cooking. And then stuff. I wasn't sure if these had actually come out, and looking at the Steam page, it wasn't immediately obvious, so I thought I would ask you all. Has there been any significant updates? When is the major update scheduled for? If I had to harbor a guess, we are 6 to 8 weeks from Rag to Riches, so NRWZ, betting against my August, 6 to 8. Actually, I'm not that good with time, to be honest with you. I need to actually switch to like just a window capture. Okay. Trying to really quickly check if my, yeah. Okay, 6 to 8 weeks, that's gonna put us at July. So their thing is early to mid-July. I'm saying August. I'm gonna hedge my bet on August, but I will apologize if I'm incorrect on that, of course. Last update was about 6 months ago, and devlogs in the latest weeks are about the Rags to Riches update. They'll come later in this year, but there isn't a set date yet. Someone estimated it would be out by this summer last year, and it looks like they'll be right. Rags to Riches doesn't do too much of an on update. There are so many missing features. Deleted. Bruh. They're based out of Ukraine and Russia. They're doing their effing best. Not to mention, entirely untrue. Okay. What? Oh. Character creation mod with respec option. Newbies. Set up to fail? Hi. I watched someone stream this game lately. I hope that's not me, by the way. Broken Vulture, if you're reading this, I'm all in favor of you. I'm pro Broken Vulture. Broke Vulture. Thought to myself I should give it a shot, so I did. I'm a bit bumped out by some things. I played around a bit, and first thing that hits hard is RNG. Especially with animals. Having way more trouble with wolves than the thugs. This is manageable, but frustrating as hell. Then there are the quests you are supposed to do to get cart and horses. I'm level 4 and die over and over again in the crypt to finish Lost Relic. Only 1 day left to finish. I feel like the game punishes me for doing what I've been told. Then the same system. I understand when devs leave out fast save load, but only at the end? Oh, there's responses. I was gonna say there's bed rolls. That's not how it works. Game's getting a massive update soon, so hold out on your complaints. That's not really how that works. Want to make a Spellblade character. As someone who has done that, highly recommend. Go kill a bear. Can you find the hermit so that Manchar can have the herbalist again? Is this like a herbalist quest new? I don't remember that. That's the priest in Manchar, right? I need to kill the troll. That's the next Stoneshard objective. Anyways. Yeah, so that's just an overview of the 2 most recent updates, kind of comparing them to some of the earlier ones. I did this the first time with no one watching, so I wanted to experiment doing it with people watching. Bit of a shorter stream because I am out of it. Clearly, as you can tell by my speech. But I hope for the Stoneshard people this was at least something to tide you over. Trying to figure out the best way to finish a few videos that I have in the editing bay for far too long. For far too damn long. I would like to check out Quasimorph. Completely, like, coincidentally, I had a friend just play it on Discord for me, and I was like, this is pretty similar to Stoneshard. I've heard people say before that Stoneshard is, like, a generic game maker game. I think the problem with that is that, like, I guess maybe that's the template, but Stoneshard has so much going on that it's kind of unique. But Quasimorph seems like kind of a different take on that. One thing I feel bad about is, like, the new players will ask a question on the subreddit and they just get downvoted. Like, if someone says, like, I can't even save without going to an inn, like, that's annoying, I get it. But, like, I don't know, maybe they're being real, like, this guy being, like, a real asshole or something. Any tips for sword and dagger with the skill tree, curses and weapons? I highly recommend combining dagger and sword with electromancy and magic mastery. Not a fan of curse, so I don't know. Me too, buddy. I never play with cursed items. Anyways, I think that's it for me. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for bearing with me on this. If you watch the VOD, please comment on it 10,000 times so I can get 10,000 as much engagement. I will catch you in the next one. Hopefully we'll be streaming more frequently. If I do stream Stoneshard, I don't know what to do. Like, all I can think of at this point are Ironmans because I just don't have... Like, we're waiting for the update. It's the same game. The only thing I have really left to do is probably kill the troll, I guess. There are quests I never did, obviously, but I think it would behoove me to kind of wait for the new update before I start making tutorials again anyways, so yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Good night, good evening, good morning. Have a good day. That's my new catchphrase.